Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to the Cary Edwards Foundation's inaugural golf tournament here at the North Jersey Country Club. Last week, when I met with the board of the Cary Edwards Foundation, we hatched a plan for me to introduce his wife, Lynn, who would then introduce tonight's guest speaker. So I studied Mrs. Edwards' background and biography, everything about her, so that I could properly present her to you. And then I was told today that I'd be introducing our speaker myself. Now, I am working off the notes that I prepared for Mrs. Edwards, so allow me to say that Governor Christie is elegant, reserved, subtle, and most important, stunningly beautiful. He is all those things, and he's also a pupil of Cary Edwards, one who has described Mr. Edwards as a mentor and advisor. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Christie.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. This is a great day for me. I had one of the women out here who, when I was meeting with her beforehand, told me I was hot. And now I have Mike saying I'm stunningly beautiful. I guess it's because I've been on vacation for 2 weeks, so people forget. They forget, so that's good. Maybe I should go away more often. Lynn, thank you, first of all, for inviting me tonight. I am honored to be here, thrilled to be here to support this cause tonight. As Mike said in the introduction, I not only claim Cary as a mentor and advisor, but I'm honored to be able to say that he's someone who, from the very beginning of my interest in public service, took the time and the effort and, at a number of points, the patience to listen to me and to advise me and to give me the type of counsel that you would really want to have from somebody who had the enormous experience in and passion for public service that Cary had. And as I look around this room and see a number of the people who are here, I know that you felt the very same way about Cary, that he was someone who not only was a great person, but a great friend. He knew what it meant to be a friend. And spent the time that it took to be a friend. And often I would wonder where he found all the time to befriend as many people over the course of his life that he's befriended. And for those of you who spent time with him in the last months, weeks of his life, he had things he still wanted to get done. I said at his funeral that one of the best phone calls that I got from him was when I asked him to do some other task for me, and he was wrapping up that task, and he called and he asked me, is this like a real deal or is this, make work? Because I said, no, it's real. And he said to me, no, listen, Chris, tell me the truth. Because if it's make work, he said, I don't have time, I'm dying. He said, and said it so matter-of-factly that he had lots he still wanted to get done and knew the clock was ticking. And he said it in that matter-of-fact way to a friend that I'm sure he shared some of the same emotions and concerns with all of you in this room. That he had things he wanted to do, and that's what Cary's life was really all about. Whether it was serving locally or serving in the legislature, whether it was serving Governor Kane, who is here as both his counsel and as his attorney general, or whether it was all the other things he did, in Monmouth University, and I'll leave a number of things out, but SCI and the service that he gave to the state and the people of the state in so many different ways. There was always something more that he wanted to do, though. So Cary's life, although much shorter than we all wish it could have been, was a life that was extraordinarily well spent. There was not a lot of wasted time in Cary Edwards' life. He served the people of the state, he served the people of his community, but most importantly, in my mind, he was a great friend to so many people in this room, and most importantly, a great husband and a great father. And those were really his priorities. And so I know that he felt extraordinarily fortunate to have the opportunity to have the education that he had. And I know he felt like a very, very lucky guy to have the opportunity to achieve all that he achieved in his life. And so when I heard that Lynn and the family and others were putting together this foundation and what they were using the money to fund, I thought that it was really the most appropriate thing in the world, because if out of all this effort that I hope will stretch for many, many years, and all the money that you all will donate and that Lynn and the family will raise, if we are able to assist creating in just one person like Cary, then we will have achieved enormous, enormous good. Because if you think about all the good that he accomplished in his life and all of the people that he touched, many, many of you in this room were personally touched by him. If we could help to create just one more person who has the opportunity to touch as many lives as Cary had in his life, then the money you donate, the effort that you put into this cause will be paid back geometrically. And I'm sure that that would really excite Cary. Now, on the way in, I met the guy who served in the state police who was Cary's helicopter pilot. Another thing Cary and I have in common. And Lynn said, he landed at this golf course many times. And this immediately got, of course, this former trooper nervous. And I said, listen, let's make this easy. Rather than telling me all of the golf courses in New Jersey that you landed at with Cary, just give me the list of the ones you didn't land at. And I said I'd give him a business card for him to be able to write the list on the back, because as some of you may know, one of Cary's closest friends and confidants and advisors, Wayne Hasenbell, also serves in my administration. I just know where Wayne Hasenbell and Todd Caliguire went on the helicopter, let alone where Cary went. They just kind of took the seconds from Cary. Cary was the one who was doing it most of the time, but it was another one of his passions. And I think that's what defines a life well lived, is to be spending your time on the things you're passionate about. He was passionate first and foremost about his family. And he was passionate about his friends, and very passionate about public service. And as we know, he was also very passionate about golf. And so bringing all these things together, the folks who knew him through public service, the folks who knew him as a friend and relative, the folks who played golf with him, to be brought together by his family to play golf and raise money in his memory for something that he would be extraordinarily excited about, affecting the lives of children and young adults, to give them an opportunity to have the kind of life that he was fortunate enough to have. That's a well-spent day by all of you. A well-spent time together, well-spent money in support of a good cause, and a good day to take a walk at this golf course, not only around the beautiful grounds and to play around the golf, but also I am sure that many of you had the same experience that I had when I was driving up here tonight. You took a walk down memory lane of your memories of Cary Edwards. And that's what helps to keep the special people who we lose too soon in our lives vibrant in our memory, is to get with people who shared that common experience and to allow ourselves, even though, especially now since it's so soon, it can be painful, to allow ourselves to remember what a special part of our lives he was, and hopefully through the efforts that you'll all continue to put in support of the foundation, what an important part of our lives he'll continue to be. I know in the end that that's what Lynn and the girls want from all this. It's not only to affect people's lives, but also to keep Cary alive to all of us in the same way that you know he's alive to them every day, in their memories, and in the incredibly, incredibly important influence that he's had on them and by extension on all of us. So when Lynn first invited me to come here, I was completely honored and believe that it is a special gift to me to be so associated so publicly with someone so kind and so generous and really so wonderful as Cary Edwards. So for the rest of my life, I will keep strong memories of him in my mind. As I conduct myself as governor every day, I try to keep his example in mind. And I'll finish with this, just tell you about the last meeting that I had with Cary. He came to my office. He was in the State House one day working on a matter for SCI, and he stopped by. He didn't have an appointment, and he came to see my secretary and asked if he could stop in for a couple of minutes. And so we sat over on these couches in my office and just chatted about what he was working on and how things were going for me. And I was still relatively new in the job and still learning, as I'm still learning every day in this position. And got done after about 25 minutes, and he said to me, listen, you got to go get to work. And he got up, and he said, you don't have time, he said, to talk to has-beens like me. And I said, I'll always have time to talk to you, Cary. And he grabbed me by both shoulders, he looked me in the eye, and he said to me, just remember something. Do something good every day. Do something good in this job every day. You have an incredible opportunity. Don't forget that. And of all the things that Cary taught me over the years, that's the thing that has remained most front in my mind, is that I know how much he wanted the job I have. And he worked incredibly hard 2 different times to get there. And unfortunately for the people of this state, came up short. So when he looked at me and told me, do something good with this job every day, I know he was not only speaking to me about me, he was speaking to me about what he wanted to do if he had the opportunity that the people of the state have given me. That makes that advice even more important and even more significant. So that is the most lasting memory that I have of Cary as I stand here today, was him grabbing me by both shoulders and giving me that real up close, exhortation that only Cary could do. Do something good every day in this job. Promise me. I did. I promised him. I don't know if I meet that standard every day. I know I try. I don't know if I can meet that standard every day. But he is an inspiration for me to meet that standard every day. So I want to thank Lynn and the whole family for inviting me to be here tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm honored to be a part of Cary's team. I always was, and I continue to be. And I want to thank all of you, all the folks who are here who have given so generously to this foundation. Please continue to. For those of you who have been here today, not only given generously, but also shared generously with each other of your memories of Cary, please don't stop doing that either. Like I said before, that's what will keep him alive and vital to all of us for years and years to come. So thank you all for being here. Thanks, Lynn, for the honor of being able to speak. And I look forward to being able to be at as many of these as you'll have me at as the years come by. This is a very, very special event to me and to Mary Pat personally. And I thank you all for being here, for giving me a couple minutes to talk to you. Thank you all very much.